You walk into the dealership with your head held high, confident in yourself. You sit across from the salesperson, look them straight in the eye, and say the words you believe will give you complete control over the negotiation. I'm paying cash, in full. You expect to see a look of defeat on their face. Instead, the salesperson smiles. What you don't realize is that you've just made the most expensive financial mistake of your life inside a car dealership. Saying you're paying cash doesn't get you a discount. It paints a target on your back. Today, on Finance with a Pencil, we're opening the forbidden doors of the automotive business to reveal the hidden mathematics operating behind the scenes. We'll show you why paying cash can actually make you poorer, and how dealerships make thousands of dollars even when they claim they're losing money on the sale price of the vehicle. Stay with me, because I'll give you the exact strategy to secure the ultra-discounted financing price that dealerships usually reserve only for customers who finance through them. Then you'll be able to pay off the loan almost immediately while keeping the savings in your own pocket. Sharpen your pencil, because we're diving straight into the dealership's invisible profit machine. To win the battle at a dealership, the first thing you need to understand is this. They're not really in the business of selling cars. Selling metal, glass, and tires is only the bait. The real business of modern dealerships is financial intermediation and the sale of paper products. The sticker price you see on the windshield, the manufacturer's suggested retail price, is largely an illusion designed to make middle-class buyers argue over a few $100s while ignoring the thousands quietly slipping out the back door. You've probably experienced this before. The salesperson walks into the manager's office, comes back looking discouraged, and says, "Look, we're actually losing money on this deal, but if you sign today, I'll let you have it at this price." It's pure theater. Even if they sell you the car at exactly what they paid the manufacturer, or sometimes even below their invoice, they can still make an enormous profit thanks to 3 invisible revenue streams that the average buyer never sees on the final paperwork. Number 1. Dealer holdback and volume bonuses. Take out your pencil and write down this word: holdback. A holdback is typically between 2% and 3% of the vehicle's total price that the manufacturer quietly reimburses to the dealership several weeks after the sale. If you buy a $40,000 vehicle, the manufacturer may quietly send the dealership around $1,200 after you've already driven away. But that's only the beginning. Manufacturers also offer cash incentives and volume bonuses. If a dealership reaches its monthly quota, for example, selling 50 vehicles in a single month, the manufacturer sends them a massive bonus check. Suddenly, every deal that appeared to lose money becomes highly profitable. Number 2. Floor plan assistance. Keeping dozens or even hundreds of vehicles sitting on a showroom floor costs money. Dealerships usually finance their inventory through special commercial loans. Manufacturers help cover those financing costs through a program known as floor plan assistance, reimbursing interest expenses during the first several months the vehicle remains in inventory. If the dealership sells the vehicle quickly, much of that assistance never gets used to pay interest. Instead, it becomes pure profit. Number 3. Why dealerships hate cash buyers. Now that you understand these hidden revenue streams, let's calculate the true cost of saying, "I'm paying cash." The moment those words leave your mouth, the salesperson instantly realizes they're about to lose their biggest source of income: finance reserve. Here's how it works. Wholesale banks may approve your loan at an interest rate of 5%. The dealership then sits down with you and tells you that your approved rate is 7%. That extra 2% doesn't go to the bank. It's paid directly to the dealership as a commission for selling you the loan. The moment you announce that you're paying cash, you've taken that entire slice of profit away from them. So how do they compensate? They raise the selling price. They remove manufacturer incentives. And suddenly, they're no longer willing to negotiate. You've lost your bargaining power before the negotiation has even begun. But the trap doesn't end at the salesperson's desk. In fact, that's only where it starts. The real danger begins when you're escorted into the finance office. The real danger begins when you're escorted into the finance office. To understand what really happens there, we need to examine the dealership's true profit laboratory. Believing that the negotiation is over once you've agreed on the vehicle's price is exactly the mistake dealerships rely on to double their profits. In the next stage of the buying process, you'll walk into the office of the finance and insurance manager, commonly known as the F&I manager. This is where the largest profits in the entire automotive industry are generated. It's also where we'll break down the documentation fees, protection packages, and insurance products that quietly inflate your final bill. Get ready to discover how this office operates as the dealership's real money-making machine. Once you've accepted the vehicle's purchase price, the salesperson happily escorts you into the finance manager's office. Most inexperienced buyers lower their guard at this point, believing they're simply there to sign the legal paperwork. That is a huge mistake. The salesperson is only the striker who gets you into scoring position. The finance manager is the star player, trained in high-pressure sales psychology to close the dealership's second sale, the most profitable one. Take out your pencil again. Draw one circle representing the vehicle itself. Then draw a second circle representing everything sold inside the finance office. This is where they offer extended warranties, paint protection packages, interior protection plans, theft recovery systems, wheel and tire protection, and the famous gap insurance. In theory, gap insurance is actually a valuable product. If your vehicle is stolen or declared a total loss, it covers the difference between what your insurance company pays and what you still owe on the loan. The problem isn't the product itself. The problem is the profit margin. The dealership might purchase that insurance policy from the provider for $200, then sell it to you for $800. The exact same thing happens with extended warranties. Many of them generate profit margins exceeding 60%, with most of that money going directly into the dealership's pocket. Now let's talk about documentation fees and vehicle preparation charges. This is where you'll suddenly notice several small fees printed in fine print that appear mandatory. Even though many of them aren't, documentation fees can range anywhere from $300 to well over $800, depending on the market. You're told these charges cover the cost of processing paperwork, filing registration documents, and handling administrative tasks. Now take out your pencil and calculate the real cost. An administrative employee usually spends about 15 minutes completing those forms on a computer. Charging $600 for 15 minutes of office work isn't a legitimate expense. It's pure profit, disguised under an official-sounding name, so customers are less likely to question it. Then come the vehicle preparation fees. In many cases, all they've really done is wash the car, remove the factory plastic coverings, and perform a basic inspection. Yet you're being charged another $1,000 for services that cost the dealership only a fraction of that amount. By this point, the finance manager knows something important. You're mentally exhausted. You've probably spent 2 or 3 hours inside the dealership. You're excited. You can already picture yourself driving home in your brand new car. That's exactly when they shift your attention away from the total price and toward the monthly payment. They'll say something like, "For only $1 extra a day," or "It's just $15 more per month, and you'll have complete protection for your vehicle." $15 a month sounds insignificant, but sharpen your pencil one more time. Let's calculate the real cost over a 72-month loan. $15 times 72 months equals $1,080. You've just paid more than $1,000 for a product that provides relatively little additional value, and because it's financed with the loan, you'll also pay interest on top of it. The dealership has cleverly wrapped additional liabilities inside your monthly payment so you never feel the pain of paying for them. When you finance through the dealership and accept these products, the total contract value increases, their financing commission grows, their product commissions grow, and suddenly, the actual selling price of the car becomes almost irrelevant to them. That's exactly why buyers who finance often receive dramatically lower purchase prices than buyers who proudly announce they're paying cash. And it's this very incentive structure that opens the door to our master strategy, the reversible financing hack. Understanding that the finance office is essentially a money-printing machine gives you an enormous competitive advantage. Now you know why the financing price is almost always lower than the cash price. But here's the real question. How can you take advantage of that discount without paying thousands of dollars in interest over the next 6 years? That's where the biggest reward comes in. We're about to reveal the reversible financing hack, the exact strategy that allows you to sign the financing agreement, secure the maximum discount, and then legally eliminate the debt almost immediately. Welcome to the most valuable negotiation secret in the entire car buying process. This is the trick many dealership owners would rather see disappear from the internet. Instead of fighting against the dealership's incentive system, you're going to use it to your advantage. You'll leverage their own financing program to obtain the lowest possible purchase price, and then pay off the loan on your own terms. Let's break down the strategy step by step. Take out your pencil and write down this action plan carefully. Step 1. Play the financing game. When you walk into the dealership, never tell them you already have the cash. If they ask how you plan to pay, answer calmly, "I'm open to the financing options you have available today if the terms are attractive." That single sentence immediately changes everything. The salesperson now believes there's financing profit available. Because of that, they're willing to reduce the vehicle's selling price as much as possible to secure the financing contract. Step 2. Negotiate the price, not the payment. Keep the entire conversation focused on one thing, the out-the-door price. That's the complete amount you'll pay, including every fee and tax. Ignore questions like, "How much would you like your monthly payment to be?" Monthly payments can be manipulated endlessly. Instead, negotiate the total purchase price. Your objective is to receive every manufacturer incentive and financing discount available. Only after the purchase price has been finalized should financing even become part of the discussion. Step 3. Read the early payoff clause. Before signing anything inside the finance office, carefully examine the loan agreement. Look for one specific line: prepayment penalty. In most modern auto loans, the penalty for paying off the loan early is 0. Consumer protection laws in many markets allow borrowers to pay off their vehicle loans whenever they choose without additional charges. Sometimes, the finance manager may tell you something like, "You need to keep the loan active for at least 3 months. Be careful. In many cases, that's not legally required." They're saying it because if you pay the loan off too quickly, the bank may reclaim the commission it paid to the dealership. That affects their paycheck, not yours. If your contract clearly states that there is no prepayment penalty, you're generally free to pay off the loan whenever you want. Always verify what's written in the contract itself, rather than relying solely on verbal statements. Step 4. Execute the immediate payoff. You sign the financing agreement. You receive the keys. You drive home with the dealership's maximum financing discount already applied. A few days later, the bank sends you your account information and loan details. At that point, you simply use the cash you've kept safely in your savings or investment account and pay off the entire remaining balance. The result? You keep almost all of the financing discount, while paying only a small amount of accrued interest. Now let's compare two buyers purchasing exactly the same vehicle. _buyer #1. The traditional cash buyer. He proudly announces from the beginning, "I'm paying cash." The dealership removes financing incentives. They become less flexible during negotiations. Documentation fees remain. Hidden charges remain. Final purchase price, $36,500. _buyer #2. The reversible financing strategist. He accepts the manufacturer's financing promotion. He negotiates aggressively. He receives every available financing incentive. He removes unnecessary fees before signing. Contract purchase price, $32,000. 10 days later, he pays off the loan in full. He only pays a small amount of accumulated daily interest. His real final cost is only slightly above the contracted purchase price. The difference? He drives away in the exact same car, purchased from the same dealership, on the same day, yet he keeps thousands of dollars that the traditional cash buyer unknowingly gave away. He's used the dealership's own incentive structure to subsidize his purchase. That isn't luck. It's financial strategy. True financial education is understanding that the rules of commerce are not based on morality, they're based on incentives. The dealership is not your friend, but it doesn't have to be your enemy either, as long as you understand how its business model works. When you finance with the intention of paying off the loan almost immediately, you're performing a simple form of financial arbitrage. You capture the discount that was designed to keep customers trapped in long-term debt, while eliminating almost all of the interest before it has time to accumulate. Don't use cash to impress the salesperson. Use mathematics to beat the system using its own rules. Now the roadmap is in your hands. The contracts are ready. Your success in buying your next vehicle depends on playing the cards in the right order. Paying cash from the very beginning is one of the fastest ways to give away your negotiating power in today's automotive market. Modern dealerships are engineered to generate wealth through financing, insurance products, documentation fees, and hidden commissions. But once you understand concepts like holdback, finance reserve, floor plan assistance, and early loan payoff, you're no longer negotiating blindly. You're negotiating from a position of knowledge. Before buying your next vehicle, make a list of local dealerships. Visit each manufacturer's website and review every financing incentive currently available. Keep your cash in a high-yield savings account, so it continues earning interest while you negotiate the financing deal. Then, after you've secured the maximum discount, pay off the loan according to the terms of your contract. Instead of letting the dealership profit from your financing, you'll profit from their incentive structure. That's how financially sophisticated buyers think. They don't ask, "Can I afford this payment?" They ask, "How can I structure this transaction to maximize my financial advantage?" Every major purchase in your life should be approached the same way. Always follow the incentives. Always read the contract. Always understand where the other side makes its money. The more clearly you understand those incentives, the stronger your negotiating position becomes. Remember, the sticker price is only the beginning of the conversation. The real negotiation happens behind the scenes, in the financing office, in the loan agreement, and inside the incentive programs that most buyers never even know exist. Master those hidden mechanics, and you'll never negotiate like the average customer again. Let's summarize the entire strategy one final time. The goal is not to borrow money because you need it. The goal is to use financing as a negotiation tool. The dealership sees financing as one of its biggest profit centers. That's why it's willing to reduce the vehicle's selling price for customers who finance. Your objective is to qualify for those discounts without remaining trapped in long-term debt. This strategy works because you're aligning yourself with the dealership's incentive system long enough to obtain the discount. Then, once the purchase is complete, you remove yourself from that system by paying off the loan according to your contract. Think of financing as a temporary bridge, not a permanent obligation. The dealership believes it has secured years of interest payments. Instead, it only earns a few days' worth of interest before the balance disappears. Meanwhile, you keep the thousands of dollars they were willing to discount in exchange for financing. That's why preparation matters. Before you ever step into a dealership, check your credit score. Research current manufacturer incentives. Compare financing offers. Read customer reviews. Know the market value of the vehicle you want. And most importantly, decide your maximum purchase price before negotiations begin. Never allow emotions to determine the outcome. Excitement is one of the dealership's greatest advantages. The more emotionally attached you become to a specific vehicle, the weaker your negotiating position becomes. Be willing to walk away. There will always be another dealership. There will always be another vehicle. There will always be another opportunity. Patience is often worth thousands of dollars. Another important rule: never negotiate based on monthly payments. A dealership can make almost any vehicle appear affordable simply by extending the loan term. A lower monthly payment doesn't necessarily mean you're paying less. In fact, it often means the opposite. A lower payment spread over a longer period usually results in paying far more interest over the life of the loan. Always negotiate the total purchase price first. Only after that should financing terms be discussed. And before signing anything, read every page of the contract. Never allow anyone to rush you. If you don't understand a fee, ask about it. If you don't recognize a product, question it. If something feels unnecessary, remove it. Remember, every dollar you eliminate from the contract is a dollar that continues working for your own financial future instead of someone else's. Financially successful people don't simply look for discounts. They understand how transactions are structured. They recognize incentives. They identify hidden costs. And they make decisions based on mathematics rather than emotion. That's the difference between spending money and building wealth. Now you understand the complete picture. The biggest mistake most buyers make isn't paying too much for a car, it's negotiating with incomplete information. The dealership already knows exactly how its profit model works. Most customers don't. And that's where the imbalance begins. When you walk into a dealership believing that paying cash automatically makes you the strongest buyer, you're actually revealing that you're giving up one of your greatest sources of negotiating leverage. The most powerful buyer isn't the one carrying the largest amount of cash. It's the one who understands the rules of the game better than everyone else at the table. Knowledge creates leverage. Leverage creates options. And options create savings. The dealership's objective is simple: generate as much profit as possible from every customer. Your objective should be equally simple: purchase the vehicle you want while keeping as much of your money working for you as possible. Those two goals aren't necessarily incompatible. You simply have to understand where the incentives intersect. When you finance strategically and pay the loan off according to the terms of your agreement, you're not cheating the dealership. You're simply using the financial system exactly as it was designed. You're taking advantage of available incentives while avoiding unnecessary long-term interest costs. That's intelligent financial planning. Before making your next vehicle purchase, remember these key principles. Never reveal that you're paying cash at the beginning of the negotiation. Focus on negotiating the out-the-door price, not the monthly payment. Review every fee and every optional product carefully. Read the financing agreement from beginning to end. Verify whether the loan includes any prepayment penalty. Keep your available cash invested or in a high-yield savings account until you're ready to pay off the balance. Make decisions based on numbers, not emotions. The difference between an average buyer and a financially educated buyer isn't income, it's information. The average buyer focuses on the car. The informed buyer focuses on the structure of the transaction, and that's often worth thousands of dollars. So here's one final question for you. Have you ever used the reversible financing hack? Or have you fallen into the trap of telling the dealership you were paying cash from the very beginning? Let us know in the comments. Share your experience so everyone in this community can learn from real negotiations and real numbers. If this financial breakdown has given you the tools to avoid overpaying at a dealership, make sure to like the video and subscribe to Finance with a Pencil. And remember, a new car begins depreciating the moment it leaves the dealership. But financial knowledge only becomes more valuable over time.